יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאי גאי 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 גאי. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאי גאי 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 גאי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Thank you, Sharon, and Erev Tov to everybody. Welcome to the Daily Daven, Shavua Tov, and I'm hoping that you're able to keep warm and that you're quite well. I know that there are a lot of people who are getting sick still at the moment, but I hope that you're not one of them. And if you are, that you have people you can call on to bring you some soup or to give you a nice phone call or do whatever it is that you need just to keep afloat. And I wanted just to talk briefly today about the parasha that's just gone. It's the last parasha in the book of Numbers, Maseh, and it often goes together with Matot, the previous parasha, Matot Maseh. And in fact, I just remembered today that it was our daughter's bat mitzvah. She's just turned 41, so it was actually quite a long time ago. But I think that one of the things that she probably talked about, and I don't remember exactly, and I'm sure that Sarah, our rabbinic student, may well have talked about yesterday, I checked it with Sharon before, with the daughters of Tzlofachad. So it's very rare in the Bible that women get a mention, and actually the 5 daughters of Tzlofachad get mentioned twice. Once in the story of Pinchas, in Parashat Pinchas, and then it's repeated again in this parasha, and the daughters' names are Machla, Noach, Hegla, Milcah, Tirzah. And Tirzah is actually quite a common name in modern Hebrew. It's amazing that they are actually, their names are recorded. Very unusual, and it's repeated again now, because although when Moses, the daughters of Tzlofachad made a pleaded with Moses to ask God if they could inherit, because there were no sons in their family, and they wanted to make sure that they could retain their right to the land, and it was agreed. God did agree that should happen, and it was a big first. And it's repeated again now because the menfolk complained that what if the daughters married outside of their families and outside of their tribes, they would then lose their land. And so it was actually agreed in this parasha that the women could only actually marry men within the family, so to speak. So it was a bit of a negotiated agreement, but apparently they did follow it. And it was really quite important because it allowed the community as a whole to accept this very controversial, very, very controversial decision that women could inherit, that women had rights. So that was a really big step. And in my Jewish learning, the student rabbi, actually, Jill Berkson Zimmerman, writes that actually these 5 women created a big effect. In a way, it's like a ripple effect from the private, their own private needs, to the public arena. It changed the role of women. And it's something that is very important, to weigh the desires of individuals against the desires of the needs of the community. And it's only by really paying attention to what each of these things is about, going into it, exploring it, and then finding a way for agreement and for justice to be done. She comes out saying, really, and I feel this very strongly, that speaking out loud, openness in a public arena is a really important event. And it's to be assertive, but to bring together communal needs and communal desires so that there's some flexibility. We don't have to be stagnant. We don't have to be stuck in one role or another, or in one on one side. We don't have to polarize everything. We can actually find a way forward by sitting together and discussing and finding out what everybody's needs are. So we'll move into the service, the evening service, and Sharon will call us to prayer on page 4.
Baruchu et Adonai ha-mevorach. Baruch Adonai ha-mevorach le'olam va'ed.
And on page 6, I'm going to read in English. Perhaps you can join me. Blessed are you, eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and who arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign over us into eternity. Blessed are you, eternal one, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv haravim. And we turn over the page for Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam Bet Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Aken Adonai Eloheinu B'shokbeinu נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
אהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לתותפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ותורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, Adonai Elohechem Emet. Turn to page 14. Emet ve'emunah kol zot, v'kayam aleinu, ki hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'en zulato, v'anachnu Yisrael amo. And further down on page 14, you work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously. On page 6, Mi Kamocha, Mi Chamocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך רהוב עמך בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים. זהי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. ונאמר כי יפדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גר ישראל.
And on page, I'd like to read a little piece, page 19. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal One, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. And we'll now have the Hashkivenu, please, Sharon.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamideinu makinu lechayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamideinu makinu lechayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamideinu makinu lechayim. Lechayim. Lechayim.
And we come to the Chatzi Kaddish on page 20, which is like a bookmarker ending the evening service and before the Amidah. So it's the introduction to the evening service finishes there, and then we go into the Amidah, the standing prayer.
Yitkadash v'yitkadash Shemeh Rabbah v'ha'almat tifrah hiroteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayichon uv'yomechon uv'chaydecho beit Yisrael b'hagaga uv'izman kariv ve'imeru amen. Yehei Shemeh Rabbah mevorach le'ha'amoai me'amaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitbarach ve'yitromam v'yitnosei v'yitada v'yital shemei kodesha brichu le'ga min kol bechata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru amen.
To page 74, prayer, the Tefillah, the Amidah. But actually, before we go into our prayers, I'd like to read something from page 81. So if you can keep a finger in 74 in preparation, and we'll 81. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed. And we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We turn back to page 74 for the bringing us to prayer and the Adonai Svatah Tiftach, and then the three blessings of the Amidah, followed by silent prayer. You can read some of the prayers in our prayer book, or just pray the prayers of your heart. And we'll join together on page 100.
Adonai Sfatay Tiftach Ufi Agid Tehillatcha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'Koneh HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'Imaot U'Mevii Geula Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Oseh U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, ve'Yisrael Sarah. Atah Gibor Elam Adonai, Mechayeh Meitim atah Rav Yehoshia, Mashiv Harach U'Morid HaGeshem, Masayach HaShemesh U'Morid HaTal, Mechakeh Chayim Bechesed, Mechayeh Meitim ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות ומיתות מלך, מלך מתוך חייהו משמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hamitim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahallelu chasera. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O Redeemer.
Ose shalom bimromav, Ose במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. במרומיו, עושה שלום. במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום. הוא יעשה שלום. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
Thank you, Sharon. And we turn to page 5. In praise of God, the one God, the divine, or the ever-living God.
עלינו לשבח אדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים נמעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
And we turn to the Mourner's Kaddish, and we think about those who are no longer with us. Page 595. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved, or people that we revered. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the stars that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. And I want to particularly remember still Rabbi Dov Marmor, Zichrono Livracha, who was a very esteemed rabbi in England and died very recently in Israel. I just would like to mention a very short story that I always think of when I think of him. He was a teacher of my husband's, he was the senior rabbi of Aelith Gardens Synagogue in London for some years, and he also was very well known rabbi at Holy Blossom in Toronto. When he was in England in Alyth Gardens, he once gave a sermon about the difference between Noah and Abraham. And a woman had actually gone from the front row of the synagogue to the back to get her fur coat because it was very cold. And Rabbi Marmor commented on this and said that was the kind of thing that maybe Noah would have done, whereas Abraham would have found the engineer who could actually repair the heating for everybody. It was very poignant. It was a bit naughty of him, actually, but it made its point, and I've never forgotten it. And that's, that it's a small example of his excellent teaching. So tonight we remember Rabbi Dov Marmor, John Grosinger, Michael Rakoff, and Shloshim, we remember David Caffin, Shirley Marion Cass, Joseph Epstein, Simon Frieden, Sophia Gershenson, Gustava Jason, Phil Phillips, Eleanor Nadler Schwartz, Felicia Silverbach, Gert Silva, Veronica Varga, Jeffrey Willits. We also remember the victims of the Highland Park shooting, which happened recently, and also those dying needlessly and awfully in the war in Ukraine, as well as anybody who is dying of COVID, also has died of COVID. So many people to think of as we say the Kaddish prayer together. And if you're able to stand, that would also be appropriate. It's on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'vyom echon, u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'izman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'al v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadal v'yitalei v'yitalal shemei d'kudasha b'richu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'momav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol b'nei adam, v'imru Amen. May you be blessed and comforted among the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. Thank you so much, Sharon.
Thank you, Sue.
And we wish everybody a safe, a warm, a healthy evening and the week. And there will be daily Daven on at 6:15 every night up until Thursday. And then, as usual, services in synagogue and on Zoom. So we wish you a good night. And what did we say you were going to sing? Odiavo?
Odiavo Shalom Aleinu, that's the one. Yes, yep. For those of you who are following along in the Siddur, the words will be found at the bottom of page 657, or you could just sit back and relax and enjoy and sing along.
Were there any messages that we needed to make a note of in the chat? Sorry, I can't see them. I didn't know if anybody had put any names.
No, there weren't any additional names for the Mourners Kaddish this evening, but our hearts go out to those who are mourning the loss of someone at this time.
I didn't mention those who have a yard site, and I just want to mention quickly, actually, may I? Frank Firestone, Patricia Peck, Ruth Schlesinger, and Henry Nathan. I'm so sorry that I didn't mention their names earlier. Thank you.
Thank you. So now, may peace go to all of the families who are suffering with loss at this time, and we honor that same feeling with the words of Odiavo Shalom Aleinu, a feeling of peace. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu, Odiavo Shalom Aleinu, Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Alenu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam.
Erev Tov, everybody.
Erev Tov, stay well, stay safe, and we'll see you all soon.